Hey, Emmanuel, welcome back. How do you move on from a season like last year? Must have been tough, missing so many games. Like, how do you move on from that and get right for this year? And just how excited are you for kind of like a new slate?
I'm very excited. Anytime you get a chance to go back to the summer, go back to the drawing board, look where you can be better. Obviously, missed a lot of games, injuries, stuff like that. But anytime you can go back, like I said, and just like work from the foundation, see where you need to get better and see where you can improve. I'm always excited for that part of basketball.
Thanks so much. We'll go to Adam next, and then to John.
Hey, Emmanuel. I'm wondering, just from a personal standpoint, how do you see yourself in terms of, just measuring up against other players in the NBA, and sort of what are your goals? Do you have goals to be an all-star? Or do you have goals to be, anything more than that? And sort of what are you looking to show yourself this season?
That's a great question. Anytime I'm on the floor, I look to be the best. I look to dominate every night that I'm on the floor, whether that's scoring, passing, defending. I feel like I'm very versatile in that way. I can lead a game with defense, lead a game with leadership, lead a game with scoring, passing, creativity. So in that aspect and individual goals, I want to be the best, all-star, whatever, but all that comes with, trying to win. I feel like the way that you get individual stuff is your team winning, and so we got to have that mindset.
John, then Doug, and then Sean.
Hey, Emmanuel, welcome back. I've got two questions for you. Mm-hmm. The first is, we've heard that the starting five have been practicing together as much as they can this past month. What's that been like for you as the point guard, and also because you did miss some time last year?
It's been great. I think a lot of us didn't really get to play together. Well, obviously B.I. wasn't with us, but a lot of us didn't get to play together on the floor, real meaningful minutes. So it was good to be able to just, play a lot with them. And then as a point guard, honestly, just as a basketball player, being able to see what works, what maybe we got to talk about on the floor, how I fit in offensively, defensively. Obviously we have a lot of scoring talent on this team, so how I can kind of, make everybody kind of mesh together, what style we play best. I think playing fast is going to be big for us this year, so unselfishness is going to be big for us this year. I think that, those are some of the things that, I've learned so far.
My second question is, we know you love reading. Reading.
Reading, yeah.
What were some of your favorite books that you read this summer?
My favorite book is always the Bible. Always got to stay locked in on that. And then I read Don't Believe Everything You Think. I'm still on that right now. That's been a good book for me. I think a lot of people should read that.
Doug, Sean, and then Vivek.
Hey, Emmanuel, to Doug to your left. Everybody's sort of intrigued by the combinations of RJ, Scotty, and Brandon. When you've seen them on the court in this last month, what jumps out to you, and what that would be confident in that they will succeed?
I think obviously everybody sees the offensive talent, but I think defensively is where we can really be good, really be scary. You got 3, 6, 7 to 6'9" guys that can switch, guard 1 through 4. Scotty probably can guard 5. And I think that's something that a lot of teams don't have at that 2 through 4 position. Being that's kind of where the NBA is going anyway. Guys that can play on, off the ball, guard 1, 2, and 3, 4, being able to switch. So I think that's something that our team, especially those 3 guys, can benefit from.
Sean, Vivek, then Michael.
Hey, IQ. I wanted to ask, where do you feel like your game sits right now in terms of the ins and outs of playing point guard of the position? Obviously last year was supposed to be your first one with the keys to the offense. Didn't quite work out that way all year, but in terms of just the point guard stuff, is there anyone you're drawing inspiration from around the league? How do you feel about that part of your game as you come into this year?
I think my game is unique, man. Everybody talks about point guard. Obviously, I have the ball in my hands a lot, and I have the capability of having the ball in my hands down the stretch throughout the game. But just understanding, and I've learned this from being in the NBA, I've learned this from playing with other great players at the University of Kentucky, is that you can affect the game in other ways than just scoring. You can kind of be able to play off the ball sometimes, and I feel like that's where my strength is in my versatility, my basketball IQ, and just being able to play off other players. I feel like that's something that I've been able to, and now in year 6, I've been able to see what keeps you in the league, how you can excel in the league, and I think that's one of the things that I've learned being in the NBA, being a point guard, things like that.
Hey, Immanuel.
Sorry, do you have a follow-up, Vivek? Is it you now? Sorry.
Hey, Immanuel. Just wanted to ask you about a couple of things that you set as goals at the end of last season. You said you wanted to be able to take more threes and also get stronger. I was wondering how much stronger you're feeling right now, and also averaging 7 threes a game as a Raptor. Do you have like?
I only took 7 a game?
Yeah. Do you have a specific goal in terms of how many you want to take this season?
I think with our team, especially like the type of attention that guys like RJ, Scotty, BI are going to get, I think I can get 10, and I think a lot of them will probably be more catch and shoot, probably more than the last 2 years. This past 2 years, a lot of them been off the dribble, but I think more of them will probably be catch and shoot, on the move. And then to your point about getting stronger, spent a lot of time on the track this summer, so I've been trying to up the condition a little bit. And then every season I look to get stronger every summer, and I always take that part of my game serious. Even though I look a little skinny, I feel like I'm a little strong. So.
Michael, then Eric, then Samson.
Hey, IQ, down front. Do you feel like you've been slept on a little bit coming into the season, having missed so much time last year, and then Raptors obviously, the first year you were here in New York or in Toronto was kind of a write-off just for where the team was headed. Do you feel people maybe forgot a little bit why you got the deal you did and how excited people were when you got traded here?
Yeah, I'm always excited because I always play with that chip on my shoulder. I love when people doubt me. I look forward to it. It's always an opportunity when people, look past you or don't think you can do something. It's always an opportunity to prove them wrong, but also prove yourself right. I know how much I put into the game. I don't skip steps. I take everything serious. And I'm looking forward to this year. It's going to be a great year.
Hey, IQ, welcome back. At the beginning, you listed 9, 10 things that you can do on the floor, and obviously you're going to need to do all those things at different points. But for this team specifically, what do you think are the 1 or 2 things that you specifically really need to bring to make sure this team can reach its potential?
2, 3 things. I think the main thing is leadership. I'm going to have to bring that vocal leadership to this team. I feel like obviously guys can lead in different examples by their work, but I think this team, we have to be collectively, vocally, like talking to each other. It's better for someone to say the wrong thing than for anybody to say nothing at all. We're very talented, but we're going to have to find that toughness of talking to each other, talking on the floor. So that leadership part, I think on the court, obviously the shooting. This team is very good offensively, get into the rack, mid-ranges, and I'll have to bring that outside threat for us for sure. Having gravity on offense to where defenses have to put 2 guys on me, I can get other guys open. And then I think those are the main 2 things. And then obviously I think defense is going to be big for me this year as well, trying to set that tone and trying to help my teammates also have that tone of having a defense mindset first.
Samson, and then Will.
Yeah, IQ, just over here. You mentioned the defense. You mentioned hitting the track a lot. The team is obviously going to ask you to put a lot of pressure, if not 94 feet, 90, 58, something like that. How do you feel about how you're equipped to do that over a really long season? And secondly, in regards to you mentioning your catch and shoot numbers going up, last year you had to spend a lot of time floating in case there was a reset in the offense. How do you envision your role changing in terms of how you spend your time off ball as opposed to last season?
I'd probably say, sorry, one more time. The first part of the question was to...
Ball pressure.
Ball pressure, yeah. I think the ball pressure, I'm still learning it. Darko and the coaches are on me all the time because this is probably not only new for me, but probably new for everybody. NBA is usually everybody thinks we don't play hard or whatever, but that's like the stigma around the NBA. But that, like I said, been on the track, played all summer, so just trying to up the conditioning and just trying to be in tip-top shape. And then your second question was about?
So floating in case the offense had to reset to you, whereas now there's a few more cooks in the kitchen, where you're spending your time off ball and how you're being utilized.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I feel like one of my strengths is my versatility. When I'm training in the off-season, obviously I'm training to make reads and be a point guard or whatever, but most of it is training to put the ball in the basket. So I learned how to do that in different ways, on the ball, off the ball. The guys that I've played with, that I've been in the league, I've played with some of the best players in the NBA that I've been in the league now for 6 years. So just learning how to play off them, play with them, be aggressive at the same time, while also trying to make it mesh. So I think that's something that I've learned to be really well with.
Last question to Will.
Hey, IQ. I wanted to know what you've seen out of the young guys. They seem to be really close. They've been playing a lot as a unit. And I'm assuming if you guys have been practicing together as a starter unit, how those battles between the starters and the bench have gone. Like, who's won those matchups?
It's been great. I feel like we've probably got the best out of them a little bit, but they don't back down at all. I feel like that's where they're going to be great at, and I'm sure a lot of our starting guys will play with guys that are coming off the bench. But we're going to need everybody, and I feel like that's what the strength of our team is definitely our whole team, and I think that the guys coming in will bring great energy, bring great toughness, defense, and to the point of 94 feet, I'm going to need a lot of those guys to help me out with that for sure. Jamal and Jacoby and all them guys, so it'll be great.